All right, what's up, everybody? This is John Nabors alongside the co-owner and founder and CEO, Branson Vanlandingham of Natty State Sports. As you're probably wondering what's going on, I tried to promote this as much as I could to let everybody know what exactly we were going to be doing. But we wanted to do a State of the Natty, a State of the Union, State of the Address, talk about some of the great things we have going on here at Natty State Sports, which is a lot of things to cover and a lot of things to discuss, but we also just wanted to have everybody, see us and our faces and how amazing we look.
We look good.
Yeah, we don't look bad.
Got back to Flyway, a little food, a little beer, feeling good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, Flyway is a great place to be if you haven't been there in Fayetteville. But here's the thing. It's been it's amazing, what, 2.5 months? 2 months? A little over 2 months, I'd say.
Over 2 months.
Yeah.
It feels like 2 years.
Does. It's definitely been not lacking the busyness from everything, but overall, it's been an incredible experience. Like, it really has been. And I know there's been a lot of hard work put into this, and the results have been incredible. We always had high expectations for ourselves, but it's great to see how much has happened, and not only our numbers that we're putting out and our content, and of course the podcast that we've been putting out here at Natty State Sports, just like the Pod at the Palace, which has been killing it with Curtis and Scotty, and the bombastic podcast with Andrew Ellis, and he's been doing great. And football practice, spring practice, my show, even Boss Hogs podcast for the offensive line there at the University of Arkansas. So we've just had a lot of things happening over the past 2 months, and it's been a busy, wild, crazy journey. But man, it's just amazing that we're just getting started.
It is amazing. I mean, just the amount of time when we plan a launch and then snowpocalypse happens, power outages happen, a million things happen. Things don't go as you anticipate with the teams that you're covering, and yet nonetheless, here we are. And so, yeah, I think it's a testament to our team. I mean, Curtis, Scotty, Andrew, yourself, our intern, Stephanie, our videographer. I mean, everything that we've kind of put together, it does take a village, it does take a team, and I think that's reflected in the work that we're doing and the numbers that we're seeing. I know it's been a tough basketball season, but yeah, Curtis and Scotty keeping after it, keeping critical, professional, but positive of how we could turn things around, how we could hit the portal, what's next, how we could fix it. And then obviously everybody's excited about baseball, and Andrew knows it like nobody else.
It's true.
And spring football. I mean, everyone gets excited for the next football season, regardless how the previous year goes. I think Arkansas fans are probably the best and worst at that. But having Bobby here and seeing that excitement and that intrigue and mystery, how did you put it the other day? The intrigue of football, the greatness of baseball, and mystery of basketball?
Pretty much, yeah. I think that's where it was.
I think that's where we're at right now. I mean, getting into the offseason of basketball, what's going to come next, a lot of questions, a lot of talk. Same thing with football, just what are we going to see, what's going to happen, and baseball's doing its thing.
Dude, I mean, it's been great just to be able to be back in Fayetteville for me, personally. This is something that, I mean, I've loved my time in Little Rock for 4 years, and I even loved my time in Fort Smith, even though I felt like a fish out of water down there. But it was just, I haven't been back to Fayetteville since 2017, and it's amazing how it's just changed so much. But with the Razorback athletic program and just kind of where everything's at right now in the sports world and in the media world too, of podcasts and just the digital content and everything, it's just incredible to see how much it's growing, but also how interesting it's been to grow with it. And just in the past 2 months, the amount of things that I've learned, I know at least, has been amazing. And just trying to piece it all together and make it work for all of us. But I know that we have a group of people that are very committed to what we're doing, and trying to make it as easy and accessible for people to listen to and to read and to watch, because that's kind of been our whole goal. But we have goals in mind. We don't have certain numbers or anything, but just between that and between the great sponsorships and the partnerships that we've made here at Natty State Sports so far, with a lot more to come, it's something that we're extremely proud of and extremely happy that people are seeing the vision that we have for the future of sports media, and especially here in the state of Arkansas.
For sure. And, you have a vision, you have a plan in your mind, and to see that come to fruition and things happen that you anticipate, things happen that you don't anticipate. But you touched on a great point that's at the core of what we're doing here, and that's being accessible, right? So all of our content being free, being across all the different platforms, because I think that's been part of the struggle as digital and these things have adapted over the years. Is there's been some good content, locally, nationally, wherever, if you will, but people don't always know how to find it, right? Because you might not be a YouTube person, but you hammer social more than anyone else, or vice versa. Or you like the audio side of things and you're not used to video, or whatever the case may be. And so for us, being everywhere, having everything that we do in video format, where when you do it that way, people can't just, as we're sitting here, they don't just hear and see us, they feel us, right? They feel the excitement, they feel the passion, they feel the actual motivation and conviction behind those things. And I think that translates to success. I think people feel like they get additional layer or two deeper with people when you have that. So we're excited about that. And with that comes advertising and sponsorships. I mean, with our content being free, us not charging, us not being behind a paywall, subscription model, whatever the case may be, we rely on the ability to monetize through relationships and merchandise sales, which, well, I'm sure we'll talk merch a little bit. Got some exciting news on that front. But we've been fortunate to have a lot of local businesses that we're partnering with. Going to have some new announcements coming soon on some more, but also some national brands that I think people will recognize and get excited about too.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you're doing something right, when you have people that want to be a part of something great. And that's been the thing where we've reached out to people. We've talked to people about sponsoring and partnering up, but a lot of people have been reaching out to us. And that's kind of the most exciting part about it, is when you have people that are willing to partner with you and to say, hey, I believe in what you're doing so much that I want to be able to be a part of it. And I'm reaching out to you and says, I'm so excited about it. Yeah. That's what really gets us excited even more so, is when people are seeing the vision, seeing what we're doing and seeing how we're doing it. And even though there has been some growing pains, just like in everything, I mean, my goodness, I didn't have Branson's mic on for the first 30 seconds. Don't worry, no, they didn't miss anything. Apparently the levels, I'm not used to these levels over here. I'm not used to being here in this show in the studio every single day that I'm here. But either way, we still have so many great things happening that it's just awesome to see the excitement surrounding it, not only just here in Northwest Arkansas, but just across the entire state of Arkansas. Because that's one thing that not many people can get, is not only our free content that we provide, and being in podcasting and in written form and in video form and everything, but also being not just statewide, but global. I mean, we have people and listeners and watchers from outside the country all the time. I
think we're up to 6 countries right now, give or take. I mean, we pull that data each week. But, not just here in NWA, not just here in Central Arkansas, but across the state, across the nation, and quite literally across the world. Apparently, we're popping off in Vietnam. So
big Vietnam people, apparently. Yeah, Vietnam loves us.
Vietnam. I guess they see the correlation there. But you bring up a good point with accessibility too. It's not just being not behind a paywall. It's the ability for people to reach us in other areas, because not every platform has that luxury, right? When you look at a radio or you look at a TV, even some print publications, right? I mean, it's tough to. Sometimes you have regulations, but even just infrastructure outside of that, it's tough to reach people outside. But if you grew up here and you moved away, or you came here and you went to school, university, no professional team, so you still keep an eye on what's going on in the natural state, regardless of where life takes you. And I think that's been reflected in the numbers and the exposure that we've had nationally and internationally.
Yeah, I mean, I've been just checking out different numbers from our YouTube and from our social media pages and everything. And I think it's always fascinating to see how each and every week, like the mainstay that we have for our viewership and listenership is here in the state of Arkansas. But to no one's surprise, the DFW market is extremely high on that list. We have a lot of people in Oklahoma City that apparently are big Razorback fans, or at least enough to listen to. And there's even been some surprises, because I did see this past week when we were going over the numbers of where people were based out of and from the major markets and whatnot. The market, I believe it was, and I'm trying to remember where it was. It was just something so random. Oh, it was Austin, Texas. Yeah. Austin, Texas, down there in Longhorn land. They apparently were big listeners of Natty State Sports. So that's what's cool is, again, the vast majority of our base is here in the state. But to show that we're providing content and providing things for people outside the state of Arkansas that are diehard Razorback fans, but they can't consume the media through the newspapers, through the the sports talk radio, or even through the local TV or anything. People want to have Razorback news, and that's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to provide it to not only people, of course, here in the state of Arkansas, because we are Natty State, but we also want to be able to provide everybody that is outside the state of Arkansas that wishes they were still here, which is pretty much all of our listeners too.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, they are that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you look at the DFW area, I mean, it's been top, it's been a placeholder since we've launched. And obviously, I know it fluctuates a little bit year to year, but the university's now half or more. I think it goes up and down enrollment from the state of Texas. And so that has the largest alumni base outside of Arkansas. So it's no surprise. And yeah, I mean, having a lot of friends, I know you do, I do as well, that have moved down there, jobs, work, marriages, whatever the case is, there's still an appetite for that. And so I think that's cool that people get to see what we're doing. And then, yeah, it's fun to pull the stuff from Oklahoma. We've been really popular in New York.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising. LA, different things like that. And then, yeah, to see Austin have such an impact this week, I guess they're eyeballing that football game here in November.
Yeah, that's it. Jeez. Yeah. That
round 2.
Yeah. They're trying to poach some coaches or something like that. I don't know. But it has been kind of funny to see how people have responded to it. But that's like when me and Branson really came together for this idea. We knew that it was going to be successful. Like we knew that it was going to be something that was unique and kind of, again, the future of where the sports medium was going to go. But the whole goal in all of this was, one, to have fun with it. I think for sure has been a big part of it. And two, of course, just to be able to try things and, try things that either work. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the fans and the people that listen and watch, they respond well, and sometimes they don't. But that's what's great about it, is that we here can be able to track the exact numbers of each and every person and each and every thing that we do. It's not, Nielsen ratings. It's not, just being like, oh, how many subscribers do you have? But you don't know that how many subscribers watch or to anything. It's simply, we have real numbers in real time and for real amounts of, time watched and time and what they listen to and everything. So that's where we base it on and that's kind of our thing is when we do our content, we don't base it on anything other than just strictly the numbers, because the numbers never lie, as they say. And if you have great numbers on something, then you need to keep doing it and to keep making it work. But that's kind of been the thing that's been so fun, is knowing exactly how many people are watching and listening and being a part of it, with our impressions across all social media platforms, our audio with podcast alone, even our written content on our website at nattystatesports.com has been killing it. So
been killing it. That interview that Scotty had with Devo was awesome, and the numbers reflected that. But that's where I come from, as a tech background, data-driven background. So being able to pull those things and, as you mentioned, make decisions around it really helps us because, you get to see how people respond and react. And I think a great example is today I was having a conversation with a potential advertiser and getting to know more about their business. They were giving me their demographics. They were giving me their data on that side of things. And I was able to in real time pull up, hey, you're trying to reach this age bracket. Here's the numbers, right? Here's the percentage of our audience. Here's how long they watch. Here's where they're at. All those things in a way that, just some other platforms, some other mediums out there, if you will, just don't have those advantages. And I think that's what really makes it very intriguing about what we do, from kind of the back end side of decisions that we make, but front end as well, and how we're able to advertise, promote, get things out there in a way that's really effective, because we can sell advertising all day long. We can make all the partnerships we want. And there's some utility in, having just relationships. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, people spend time and money to make money. Right. And so we want to be able to have that to our advantage, and people to be able to see that and let that go further, faster in their return on investment in what we do on our side for the content and the folks that we partner with to advertise. Yeah, and be able to, any time that we have with our advertisers that we have, whether it's Signature Bank or whether it's Alumni Hall or Autograph, who we just recently had on, which is we need to talk about Autograph. Yeah, which has been huge for us and huge for them too. It's like no matter who it is, what's great about it is if any of them, and we will provide it obviously whenever, but they're just like, hey, how many people saw my ad this week?
We can literally, in about 5 to 10 minutes, say, this is exactly how many people saw your ad. This is exactly the age group that they are in. This is exactly the gender that they are. This is exactly the area. I mean, you can be so exact with it that it shows, okay, so I know that this many people saw it here in this area, whatever it may be. And I think that that's really a benefit to so many of the advertisers where it's like they know, like, it's like, how many people saw my stuff? Well, here's our estimations, here's our surveys. It's like, no, we can straight up show you exactly who saw your ad. And that's, I think, is what I think advertisers are really excited about. And the partnerships that we have is just because we want to be upfront and transparent with how we do things. And that's why we're doing something like this,
right?
Because we want to be transparent and communicative with everybody, but also with the people we do business with. We are very big on communicating that and being transparent and not just fudging the numbers or overestimating or overcharging or anything like that. We're trying to make it to where the businesses that we do business with get as much out of it as we do, and that's kind of our goal. And I would feel, and I know Branson feels the same way. We'd feel like very guilty if we were, taking, like, having these partnerships and they weren't getting the numbers, they weren't getting the views, they weren't getting any of that stuff, and we were just not, like, we weren't coming through on our end. Like, we want to make sure we come through our end, and that's why we want to make sure we'd always do a good job.
Definitely. I mean, we want to underpromise and overdeliver, especially when you're getting something started, right? And people are partnering with you from the beginning. But I think that's what's cool about us being digital, and I think more people are wanting to get to digital. I mean, you can look across Fortune 500. You can look across the country and world right now and see large corporations going to that. I just read an article the other day with Coca-Cola leaving a lot of TV stuff, leaving a lot of print stuff, and they're going to digital. And obviously, society is trending towards there, but there's front end data that you can see. You can see impressions, you can see views, subscriber counts, things like that. Doesn't always tell the whole story, but they can get a little snippet. And then we can, at any time, moment's notice, pull those numbers up like I did in my conversation today and share that. And I think for some people, that's a totally new ballpark. Yeah. Being able to say, man, the data's scary good if used in a positive way as our platforms and as we use it. But we can make that super effective. And yes, we don't want to just have partnerships for, partnership's sake, but to really land a return on investment. And that's what's great about pulling those numbers and us having conversations with our relationships and our partners is people are getting return on investments, right? I know we've talked a little bit about that publicly, but I guess my favorite story about that is our Superior Contracting Development, Al Franks there out of Bologna, talking to him, having lunch, going through an update. I guess at that point we were about a month in, I think.
Yeah, roughly.
And at the end of it, he'd shared that he had more than doubled his return on investment with us and profit. But at the end of it, he said, hey, tell John thanks for the referrals. It means a lot that he sent some people my way. And so I'm like, absolutely, I'll tell him. That's great for John, having conversations. We're out and about a lot, right? Get to talking to John about it when I get back to the office, and John's like, hey, man, like, I'm excited, but I haven't told anyone, like, personally like that. I haven't, been in a position to really do that. And so what it was is people were calling Superior and saying, John Nabors told me to give you a phone call. And they were just listeners of the show. And so I think when you have the amount of content that we have, when you have video like we have, when you're out and about, you travel, you interact, and people consume hours worth of content, the audience truly feels like they know these people. And so when they do endorsements and they do live reads and we have relationships, it truly is like a personal referral and endorsement. And we think that's awesome. Yeah,
because that's what we want. We want the personal touch to it. We want the personal relationship and the personal partnership to come about. But that's another thing, too, with what we've been doing with our content. And I know that we've been kind of teetering with a lot of different stuff, too, like the guys who have been doing the Natty State Six-Pack.
Yes.
Which is a great thing and a great podcast and live stream. If you have not watched it, you need to check it out. Absolutely check it out. But they start doing a little bit of live, kind of like my show is. And same thing with like the Boss Hogs podcast with the Razorback offensive line. They've been putting it out whenever they've had some, which is great interviews, great long form interviews, getting to know a lot of not only just the offensive line, but some of the other players at the University of Arkansas and on the football team. But that's the thing is each and every day we are putting out multiple things of content, and it's not just a simple like, oh, well, here's one thing or two thing, and then that's it. It's like we try to find something for everybody, because I know this may be shocking to people, but there are some people that do not like John Nabors and do not like my show and do not like my takes. It is possible. It does. They do exist. But what we're trying to do is that, hey, if you hate my guts, that's okay, because maybe you'd like what the Pod at the Palace provides, maybe you like what the Six Pack provides, maybe you like what the Boss Hogs podcast provides, or maybe more of a written content person. Like we're just trying to dabble into everything to give something for everybody. If there's something you don't like, then hey, we got something else for you. So that's what we're trying to be, very flexible and kind of buffet style, where it's like, hey, we have a lot to offer, but doesn't mean you're going to want everything we have to offer. Pick and choose what you want and what you enjoy.
Sure, and I think that goes a long way, right? So it's the ability to find different things and, us to have a little bit of something for everybody, but not just that, but the amount of work that goes in. Like, we're not just writing an article so we can say, oh, we have written content. We're not just putting out a podcast so we can say, hey, we talk about things at Natty State on the Six Pack that aren't hog related or even sports related. Like, it's all stuff that is genuine, it's thought out, it's meticulous. Like, our team really wants to make it good, and I think people feel that. And same with the Boss Hog podcast. And I think we're getting ready to maybe have some more player-led podcasts, some info coming soon on that maybe. But they care. We care, they care. We want to have people and relationships with our content partners and obviously our team here that actually genuinely give effort and care. It's extremely important to them. It's super professional. It means a lot to them. And I think people can see that. And you're exactly right. People can dive into any content they want. And we have a lot for everybody. And I think people are excited about that.
I do too. I mean, we have a lot of compliments, some insults, but a lot of compliments most of the time.
Overwhelmingly positive, which we appreciate. And hey, if you go through all of our stuff and you don't find anything for you, I'm certain there's other things out there for you, and no harm, no foul, but we'll be here plugging away nonetheless.
That's right. We're going to keep doing it and keep growing, and it's been a rapid, I mean, over the past, like, we've been growing steadily the whole time, but I say over the past week or 2 weeks, it's been incredible to see the growth that that we've jumped to. Not only, I think we've hit about 2,500 plus subscribers on our YouTube channel, which may seem like, oh, well, how is that a lot? Well, for a YouTube channel that's existed for only about 2 months, that's pretty good. But
it's incredible.
Yeah. And that's given a crappy basketball team on top of all that. So, like, that's been a very, very important thing.
I think it's no accident that as those things get winded down, our engagement goes up. Now, obviously, spring football starting, baseball's ramping up in conference play, but I think people were a little bit ready to kind of talk about something else, see something else, turn the page on that. Now it's trending towards, obviously, the changes we're going to make in the offseason, and Curtis and Scotty have done a phenomenal job, as we've talked about, hitting the portal, talking about stuff in an engaging, positive way. But for us, 2,500 subscribers. I know we're in the thousands on Facebook, Instagram. Twitter's been extremely fruitful, but when you throw all those things together, I think the most impressive stat is we're reaching over 500,000 people a week. When you compound that over, average 4 weeks in a month, we're at 2 to 3 million people a month in what we're doing. So it's not just a piece here and a piece there. It's putting all those things together, combined with the stuff that we're doing. And the guys are doing extremely well on our website, nattystatesports.com. And we're in 7 figures amount of impressions and engagement and reach every single month, which is awesome for us. And again, awesome for the people that we advertise with.
Yeah. So eat your heart out, other media companies, but you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, and no disrespect, the game on that side of things a little bit better than I do. I'm picking it up, learning, but just in terms of volume, I mean, we're putting out over 50 pieces a week in what we're doing in terms of travel. I mean, I think back on our Arlington trip and us being down there for that open practice the Thursday before we played that weekend. I think there was one other media outlet.
If that,
that was there. Mostly you guys getting exclusives like that. I think about, I went to Nashville with Curtis and Scotty last week, and them the first night being the only Arkansas media in the open locker room. Yep. And then the next night, I think there was, one other person in there. And then, Scotty getting that exclusive with Devo, just things like that, where kind of the mantra that I want to drive is that we go where others won't to cover things others don't. And that's not a knock on anyone else. It's just that's what we want to do. We want to be out there. We want to be getting those things together and putting it out there for the audience because we know the audience freaking wants it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we like, because they want what we want. Like, we want success, and the success with the athletic teams that we cover, but also the success in the type of content that we create. Like, it's not just like flipping on a live stream and say, hey, let's talk. Like, it's just like we have guys that prepare, we have guys that put it in, and I'm going to say this too, because I know we'll get into some other aspects, but just from me personally, I'm new to the business side of things. I've always just worked for somebody else, worked for whether it's Signal Media down at 103.7 The Buzz, or whether it's Pearson Broadcasting there at ESPN Arkansas. I guess trying to remember if it was, I can't even remember the last name of who.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I guess I started in Cumulus at 92 on the ticket. So, but regardless, I've always had to work for somebody else, but I'm new to the business side of running a business. But I'll say that, this company and what's going on right now, yes, me and Branson, we started this, we put it together, we co-founded it, we're the one that had the vision. But this company and the success that it's having so far and what it will continue to have is not solely because of me and Branson. It's because of Curtis, Andrew, and Scotty. That
1,000%.
That was the thing that when we were talking about doing this, I was like, I said, I don't want any, we got to have these guys. If I'm going to do this, if we're going to do this, these are the guys that I want, and these are the guys that we need. And we were very fortunate to pull it off and to make it happen. I know that there was, some obstacles we had to overcome in doing that, but I'm telling you right now, it's just the amount of work that those guys put in. It's incredible, and it's motivating. And I know what Branson puts in a lot of work. I know I put in a lot of work. But when you have guys that are putting in the work just because they want to do a good job, but they want to be the best at what they do, it's an extremely motivating thing to make you and push yourself, just as me and just as Branson, to make us as great as they want us to be too. So just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that me and Branson are sitting here, but this is strictly solely over half the success of this company so far is because of those three guys.
Absolutely. I mean, we could sit here and talk till the sun comes up about Curtis, Andrew, and Scotty. And, when you have a vision and you bring something to fruition, and when you step into a new role like John has and get to, be the boss in a sense and learn things and see things from that perspective, that's a challenge. But at the end of the day, no one's going to care like you care in a sense. And I don't think that's true for, our team, Curtis, Andrew, and Scotty. It's the amount of work they put in, the amount of pride they take into it. It means so much to them. And again, I think that's reflected in their work. But yeah, it's the hours. I mean, this is a demanding position, right? People think, we're just sitting around, eating popcorn, drinking beer, and going to the games, having a good time. Sometimes that's involved, but they don't see the prep that goes into studying these things, the amount of attention they put on stuff, especially right now with the portal season, especially right now as baseball's getting ramped up, spring football, we're covering all those things. They don't see what goes into it behind the scenes. And I think for me, that's been a cool perspective to have of just the amount of work. You might sit here and see, a show that goes for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. You may read an article that's, a page or two long and think, it is what it is. But the amount of prep and excitement and intrigue and all those things that come from that are because of the attention to detail that these guys put into it. So yes, can't say enough about Curtis, Andrew, and Scotty. And man, were we lucky to have them, and we would not be sitting here in any capacity if it wasn't for the three of those guys.
No, not at all. And that's why it's I always want to make sure that people know, because you don't see behind the scenes,
right.
And these guys are here in the office every day, and they're here for hours upon hours upon hours every day. And it's not just they're working, but we're having fun. They're fun guys. And, it's just, Andrew's our wild card. He always cracks me up because I never know what he's going to say and the comments he's going to bring up.
Gosh.
But, with him, and then, seeing Curtis and Scotty and all of them just kind of make jokes to each other and have fun doing it. Because that's the thing is just, it's demanding. But we never wanted to make it such a grind to where you stop enjoying what you're doing. Because the second the second I stop enjoying this, I stop having a passion for doing something like this, is the day that I'm retiring. Because it's I don't want to ever do something like this unless I'm having fun with it.
No.
And we're able to be very fortunate to do something that we have a passion for and that we care about. And that, we have an incredible office space. You cannot find a better office space. This is the thing that, we're proud of a lot of stuff at Natty State, but if you haven't seen the videos, and there's been some people that have actually seen this place, every single person comes up their pants explode because they just don't even know what to do. They don't even know what to say, because it's just so when we have all these things together, we got a great group of guys that are creating great content, where we have a great workspace that you can't get any better than this. We have great ideas. We have a great audience and a responsive audience and just a great thing going. That's what makes this such a special thing. Is just we've been very lucky and very fortunate to have a lot of things come together. It's just why now it's just the growing part of continuing to expand, continuing to get bigger, and continuing to get better each and every day is what we're kind of trying to do right now.
Absolutely. And having fun's at the core of it all. And I think most people get that. Apparently, a few people haven't gotten that memo. But when you put out the amount of content we have, when you're on video like these guys are, if they're not having fun, if they're not enjoying it, that's going to hurt what they're doing. And the audience is going to feel that. Again, it goes back to what we were talking about and not just being heard and seen, but people feel that, right? And so that goes to us creating an environment where we can have fun and we can let these true pros run and do their thing. Yeah. Right? I mean, we want to achieve certain things, absolutely. We have guidelines, we have structure, sure. But at the end of the day, when you get a team like this put together, just like an athletic team, you run plays, you do certain things, but you let these guys go to work. You know, you let Michael Jordan be Michael Jordan. And, I mean, Curtis, the first time we met in Vegas, Circa, at Circa, shout out to Circa, Matt Grissom, hooking us up there, Barry's Prime Steakhouse there in Circa. Man, we gotta take the team out there. We're talking about that.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
We're gonna set a big goal. We're gonna reach it pretty soon, and then we're gonna go take a boys trip out to Circa. But yeah, that was the first time I met Curtis in person, and he was working. We're in the middle of all this, the Hogs playing in March Madness, and but he probably said 5 words the entire dinner. Now, granted, we're in a dark restaurant, loud restaurant, 10 of us at a table, but I was impressed with Curtis. But I thought, okay, traditional rider, kind of quiet, analytical. Well, then y'all started putting some stuff out, a couple months after that, and man, just so smooth. Yes, analytical, super knowledgeable, all those things, but man, he can speak and just has a great cadence and rhythm. And Scotty's much the same way, right? Like, his presence, just the thoughtfulness, like when that guy is talking and he's spitting wisdom, the audience can feel that. And then Andrew, I mean, just his personality shines through the camera. Like you can just feel that excitement, feel that energy, whether he's talking baseball, sports gambling, or anything under the sun. Big Chicken.
Yeah, big chicken guy.
Sydney Sweeney, whatever the case may be, people see that. And so, we want to have fun. We want to be engaging and creative and genuine. And if we can't do that, then we might as well, leave our beautiful office space and never come back. So we'll always have that at the core of what we're doing here. And then, it helps when you're in a beautiful space like this. I had a launch party up here, like 6 weeks ago at this point. Yeah. It's about time to do another one. What do y'all say?
Yeah, what would it be, our second launch party or something like that? We got to come up with a better name for it.
Yeah, we'll come up with something,
but that was
sexy and appealing.
Yeah, but that was great because I mean, we had, of course, some very nice contributions to the party itself.
Thank you, Tito's and Flyaway Brewing.
Yeah, good people over there. Mac, shout out to you over there at Tito's for hooking us up. But
nobody here was thirsty.
No, so. There was no problem there. But we had a great time, and that's kind of what eventually. I don't know how if this could come back to bite me, but it's like eventually I'd like to almost have it where it's like an open door policy. If people want to come check out the office space, you can.
Yeah.
Like we don't want just anybody coming up and maybe ask first, but but we want it to be where people can see it.
Sure. Definitely. We want to show it off. We want people to come up here, hang out, have a good time. We'll have to have kind of maybe some structure around it.
A little bit,
get an armed guard named Rufus or something
or Devin.
Devin. Shout out to Devin,
Gooch,
aka Gooch, Richard Jewell.
Yeah.
Come in here and patrol the streets and halls.
That's right.
Here at Natty State Studios.
Yeah. Well, also. Folks, I know there's a lot of people in the chat, so if you have any questions about Natty State Sports, now's the time to do it because we're not going to talk about business during any other show or stream. We're only going to talk about fun stuff. So if you have anything like that, let us know in the chat. We'll try to get to it. But we've been talking a little bit about our merchandising, and as you can see, Branson over here has one of our various different great shirts, by the way, for Natty State Sports. High-quality stuff, not the old crapperware that you don't have to deal with. But we started that, had a really, really good stand with that, and we're now going to be working towards having actual golf polo shirts that are Natty State branded. Now, we'll not give too much away because we do want to have it seen, but what you probably think, I was like, man, that logo would look ridiculous on a golf polo, and you're right. It absolutely would. But what we're doing is that we're going to be taking away the Natty State Sports lettering, and our logo is just simply going to be the state flag Arkansas diamond right here on the polo shirt, or I guess, right here. So those are going to be coming soon, and we're going to have those for just in time for golf season. But we've had a lot of people reach out about having Natty State apparel. But that's going to be one of the things I know we're really excited about because, every guy has a golf polo shirt. I mean, I'm pretty much wearing one right now. So it's like, I know everybody wants one, but those are going to be ones I feel like are going to be huge hits, and we're going to make sure that they're high quality as well.
Yeah, I mean, we want things that people actually wear and enjoy, right? Not just something to slap a logo on and make a couple quick bucks and move on. I mean, we're going to wear them. We're going to travel in them. We're going to play golf and sports and horseplay and all the good stuff around that, dress them up, dress them down. But, yeah, I think that's going to be really awesome, especially as we move into spring and summertime, thank God, get into warmer weather and get outside and get active. Beautiful day here today. And, along that same lines, working on hats. I'm going to have some traditional hats, going to have some athletic hats, and maybe even some nice big old sun hats, apparently, for Natty State Outdoors. Outdoors here in the state of Arkansas, I think people automatically go to hunting and fishing, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But, we got a lot of lakes and mountains and on trails, all these things that you need some sun coverage on if you're as pale as I am. And I think we'll have something cool for that. And then, koozies, stickers, some other stuff. We've just been really working to ramp that up. I know we want to have it done sooner, but when you launch a new business and, you're in the middle of a snowpocalypse and all these things, or you're trying to settle in, now we're settled in, and we're going to blow up merch and give the people what they've been asking for.
Yeah, because we like to do, stuff that I'd wear.
Exactly.
I don't want to sell stuff that it's like, some idiot will probably wear this. Some guy that's I want to have stuff available.
Yeah.
Stuff that we would wear and that people actually wear and wear out.
Yep.
Because there was nothing that, and this is nothing against the fine institutions of all radio stations, but there was always something I felt weird about whenever they would be like, hey, handing out these T-shirts, and it's like you wash them once and they just dissolve. It's like I was like, how does that? I was like, also, no one's going to wear that. It's like no one's going to wear to want to represent that. It's like, so we want to have things that people, you buy them, and then we'll do some giveaways and stuff for random stuff, just like we have already. But when you're purchasing something, we don't expect you to purchase something that's going to be crappy. Like if you're going to purchase something from us, just like you're going to be listening to us, we want our merchandise to be as good as our content and as good as the setup that we have. The highest of quality, unique, and something that you want to be a part of every day, just like those fine articles of clothing that we'll be selling.
Absolutely. There's our merch line, tagline for the studio, online right there. We can apply that to both sides. And you're right. I mean, we want people to wear it and enjoy it just like we are. I mean, we design the things that we like and that we know the audience likes. Again, we are our demographic, but we're wearing them around here. We're wearing the shirts. We travel in that. Same with all the other stuff we have coming. And we want people to hold up so people can wear it and promote, obviously, what we're doing and get some of those on some beautiful people. That's and have those people maybe refer other people to us.
That's right, because we're all about the beautiful people here.
That's right.
In fact, Dalton in our chat says his toolbox and car need a sticker. So, but we're working on that.
Working on stickers, man. Yeah. Stickers, I think, will be coming actually probably the first thing that happens. Turnaround time on those is pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's just about us sitting down and getting it all done.
Yeah. And we're going to do things, I believe, where if you I know we are, but when you purchase a shirt or purchase a polo or whatever, you get the sticker with it. So it's not like you can buy the sticker separately, but if you buy an article of clothing, we'll throw in a sticker for you.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Yeah, we got some koozies coming. Yep. Apparently, koozies kind of a big deal to get. We tried to get some for the launch party, and you would have thought we were ordering some, some missiles from the Pentagon or something. Everybody was acting like it was going to take a lot of time and money, but we got that coming, so I think that'll be fun, especially, again, as we get into warmer weather. But, Dalton will take care of you, get you a sticker, and you can rock it. Yeah,
that I know we just have ideas of everything that we want to do. Like eventually, having beer glasses, I think would be something that'd be really cool, or beer mugs.
I looked at that today. Yeah. So I think that could be coming pretty soon. Glasses or mugs or both?
Both.
Okay,
just go for all of it.
Sure.
I think everybody's going to want different things for it too. So, but that's the thing is, like, again, we can be so flexible with this company of what we want to do, and we're not running from any type of thing to where we're like, we're above that. It's like no, if it's stuff that we want to have fun with and stuff that we know that you would enjoy or that you would be into. I mean, that's what we want. We want to do that.
Our bosses are pretty open-minded, last I heard.
Yeah, I think so.
And yeah, I mean, anything that we want to do, we're going to do if it aligns with obviously our values. And if we know it's going to play well with the audience, right? It's just not doing stuff for the heck of it, but because we enjoy it and we know that our audience will too. And yeah, I'm really excited to roll that out, and hate that we haven't had an opportunity to do it sooner, but I promise you we're going to make up for it here soon.
Let's see. I do want to get to some of these comments, though, folks, because some of them are pretty funny. Black Neighbors, which is one of our residential watchers, he says, wow, Branson is on. This is like Cade Arbogast getting minutes.
Hey.
But don't worry. Kingsley comes to your defense and says, wait, it's more like Hunter Yurachek getting minutes.
Oh, gosh. Oh, Hunter Yurachek. Yeah, Cade. Man, I love Cade and Lawson. You know, it's been cool to see them always there. Apparently they busted in practice. I asked a question and gave them some love at the coaches show last year because I felt like sometimes those folks get overlooked. But yeah, I mean, hey, I'll take both references. But my man Kingsley, thank you, brother.
Yep. Shout out to Carson. He says he's enjoyed everything that we have put out.
Thank you, Carson.
I appreciate that. Leslie says, I will tell you right now, I absolutely love John Nabors 100%. Thank you, Leslie.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. Dalton says...
John needs him a lady, FYI.
Well, I don't know if that's a lady.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I mean, I don't know.
I'll
just be honest, I'm not here to judge.
What?
But the name Leslie, you know, Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, totally. My fault for jumping to. I'm just, you know, I want a good.
I understand it. Yeah,
he's got a good business partner.
Intention.
He needs a good life partner. You know, and so
yeah, Lord knows I've been striking and missing on that one. Dalton says the only thing I don't care about watching is the betting show, but everything else I'm a huge fan of. So, well, the betting shows. You know, it's one of those things that's kind of up and down. We put one out today for the NCAA tournament. It's more like an event. It's not like a consistent show. It's more like there's a big sports betting thing going on. Then we'll get into it. But
good news is you got 6 other shows.
That's right.
So, and I think soon to be a additional 7th.
Yeah. We got Patrick saying Natty Sports is doing a great service.
Thank you. Yeah.
James says, I enjoy watching your show. It keeps us up to date with the state of the Razorbacks a lot easier. So, yeah, I'm liking the compliments.
Yeah, man, keep them coming.
Yeah, we can get hyped up in here.
Get these big
Kingsley,
smiles.
of course, says appreciate the work.
Yeah.
Let's see. This comes from Joseph. Says, hey, John, I miss hearing you on the buzz, but I'm proud of you and your new journey. Keep up the great work. I'll continue listening and watching all the Razorback content. Hey, thanks, Joseph. See, there are some people that
man, all the haters must be out, you know, partying or asleep.
Yeah, where are
spring
y'all
break
at now? Slim Piggins says, rooting for all y'all to be very successful in the shakeup of sports media in Arkansas. It's grown stale, but I love what y'all are doing. So that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Man, thank you.
Yeah. And some girl named Michelle Wilkerson says, Curtis is here studying stats right now.
Hey.
So.
Golly, man. I'm telling
Curtis.
you, again.
Go to bed, Curtis.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Oh, he probably needs him some sleep, man. Golly, those guys after the Wednesday night game in Nashville, God bless them. Apparently, the Wi-Fi was super subpar in Bridgestone Arena, which I guess talking to you guys,
it's very common,
kind of par for the course in these postseason things. And so, all these new fancy, expensive MacBooks, none of them have plug-in Ethernet. So next day, I had to place an Apple Store pickup. And if you've ever been to Bridgestone Arena in downtown Nashville, there's an Apple Store right across the street. So I was able to grab some converters and
made it work.
Then we had to buy some other converters for some USB regulars, you know, USB A, I think.
Converters for the converters.
Converters for the converters. So, you know, by the time you buy all the converters, you could about have a second laptop. So, yeah, it was interesting. But anyway, those guys were there and didn't sleep then.
Yeah.
We're hitting it. Of course, you know, had to go out a little bit, have a little fun. So did that. And they came back and they've been hitting it hard for portal season. So Curtis is probably over there with red eyes and shaking it a little bit, covering all those stats and combing it over.
Also a comment from Nikki Peters, who says, definitely merch for women would be great. And a lady named Katie Vanlandingham agrees.
Hey, I was going to say, tag my wife, Katie. I think she's helping us out with merch in general, but especially ladies, because we don't want to forget about the ladies.
Nope.
You know, with us having cool, creative, short font names, I think there's a lot you can do with Natty. I think script stuff looks good. And, yeah, we definitely want to have some merch because we, most of us at least, have ladies around here and want to have some stuff for them to rep and definitely for our female audience because I think when people think sports media, they automatically go to men, which, is a somewhat fair assessment, but we actually reach a good amount of ladies.
Yeah.
And especially, again, here in the state of Arkansas, the ladies care about the Hogs.
Yeah.
Even outside of husband, son, dad, whatever the case is, they grow a real interest. I mean, I know that's where a lot of my passion for the Hogs comes from, is from my mom. And, we want that to be reflected in our merch as well. So, yeah, Katie, if you're listening, which it looks like you are, get after that.
Yeah, it just makes me laugh because, talking about having ladies around here, it's like everybody else's significant other, because everyone here that works here has a significant other except me, always has their significant other in the chat hyping them up. And it's like, I got to rely on Kingsley and everything. No, how much I love you, Kingsley. It's like, I got to rely on random people. Be like, I love John Nabors. Be like, thank you.
Kingsley
never
exits
met
the chat.
Yeah, he's about to say he's out now after that. But because it's like, I'm not even going to, I'm not going to put out their name, but they just said, I want to have John Nabors' babies in the chat. Okay, well, let's relax.
Interesting.
Let's scale it back a little bit.
Was that Black Neighbors?
No.
I can't see the chat.
That could be interesting. You don't.
Okay.
So half the time the chat's just a cesspool.
Yeah.
Lucky Duck says, I've been watching all you guys since you started Natty State Sports, and you're doing a fantastic job. Keep up the work, guys.
Man.
So, okay.
Gonna leave here feeling like $1 billion, baby.
Yeah, I know. This is the one show/chat that I'm not getting attacked for my horrible takes or my fake tan that everybody accuses me of and makeup that I'm wearing.
When you got a fourth floor balcony like we do, and the weather is like it is today, baby, you don't need no fake tan. You can pop out there, get some work done, and get you a good tan.
Yeah, at least you'll have that too. I'm trying to think of anything else that we wanted to cover.
I'd love to talk about Autograph a little bit if you don't have anything else.
Hit that up.
We've gotten a lot of questions about Autograph, and they're a relatively new app and platform as far as kind of their focus now, but they're co-founded by Tom Brady. So I'd like to start there. Yeah, I think he's pretty good at basketball, baseball.
One of those sports that matter.
Something like that. But really what they're out to do is they have their own app and platform to reward fandom, which obviously aligns with what we do and what our interest is personally and professionally. But I think the best way to kind of explain it, first, go download the Autograph app. Autograph, like you get an autograph, and use code Natty. Plug us there, and it might get a little extra something special. But what they've tried to do is kind of twofold, right? I think first is, as we talked about earlier, you have a lot of ways to consume content when it comes to your team. And they're working to kind of put that all on one platform. So people that have shows, people that have written content, comments, all those things, put it all in one place, first of all. And then secondly, they want to reward people that consume that. Not just with badges and these things like, Facebook and other platforms have. They want that actually to translate to something. So I know they're running incredible deals right now with March Madness tickets for like $16. I know they did some of that for the national championship, collegiate football. And I think they're doing a sweet giveaway for one of the March Madness games that we've talked about on our social media, and they're working to bring that rewarding fandom not only to consuming content, but to games and in-person events, which I know a lot of people have talked about in regards to rewarding people that actually go, especially when it comes to maybe priority, season tickets. So maybe some of that technology will eventually make its way into other areas. But I think that's what's really cool about what they're doing, and just wanted to talk a little bit about that. And we're super excited to be partnered up with Tom and Dylan over there at Autograph and reward fandom.
I love how we're partnered up with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So we're partners with him.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he's coming here, actually.
He's coming by. We're going to pound some Tito's and some Flyway beer and maybe catch a couple passes.
Maybe some pictures. Actually, no, there will be no pictures, so you'll never know it actually happened. We'll just tell you.
We'll just tell you.
Yeah, trust us that it
Matter of fact, I think
happened.
he's right here. No.
Yeah, just trust us on that. But yeah, Autograph is one of our newest sponsors here. But I mean, between Autograph, and of course, Signature Bank, who has recently signed on with us, that we're really appreciative. Superior Contracting and Development, Alumni Hall, Davis and Garrett Insurance, which is our Arkansas update every day on my show. Manscaped has been great. Bank of Fayetteville, which has sponsored Tyler Spoon, who's on my show once a week. In fact, his interview will be playing tomorrow. Just first off, thank you, because it's awesome to be able to partner with great companies that believe in us and believe in what we're doing. But it's also great to partner with people that we actually have good relationships with and people we know personally.
Definitely.
Because even Hydrate NWA is another company that we have partnered with. We're going to be doing some stuff here after a while. And, a lot of cases, sometimes it's people that we reach out to or vice versa. But a lot of cases just, hey, I'm friends with Jackson Lowry, who is a guy who's running Hydrate NWA. Tyler Spoon, as I just mentioned, he works at Bank of Fayetteville. So I have that connection. family connections with Davis and Garrett over there. So, it's great to be able to do business with people locally, but to do business with people that we already have relationships with and to kind of show them just how much it means to us and also how great it is for them in their business has just been also a really cool thing to have.
Yeah, I mean, to have people that support you and believe in what you're doing is awesome, and that's been cool. We've had that element as well, but like the people I talked with today, to get complete strangers, because anytime we have somebody that reach out to us, I always ask, everybody, and we try to make that a point. Does anybody know this person? Just to, leverage in conversation and, have that insight when having a conversation with them. But complete strangers that just consume the content and say, hey, there's something here and we want to be a part of it. We think our business can benefit from it. I think it's extremely important. And John and I have kind of talked about this as we're going to be getting out there. Now that we've settled in, we're going to be getting out and about a little bit more, talking about the company a little bit more, promoting it a little bit more. There's just not, unfortunately, a ton of platforms in the state of Arkansas that reach millions of people each month like we do. And so I think having the ability for people to leverage that for their business is extremely awesome. And we want people to know about that. We want people to be aware of it, and we want them to benefit alongside what we're doing here. And on that token, it's not just people we know. It's not just strangers here in the state of Arkansas, but national brands, specifically Manscaped. I know we were excited about that. I think Manscaped gives you about all the content angles you could ever want.
I tell you, but you think this face looks this good without that? Come on now.
And especially, to partner up with them in February for Valentine's Day.
Perfect.
Probably a good time to Manscaped. I know they're doing a lot of promotions and have a lot of good stuff going on right now. So hit Manscaped's website, use code Natty, show us some love there, because I think they want to incentivize and take care of us if we, get them some sales and get attention over there. And so I think that's really, really cool about what we're doing, and love to have people talk about their companies and get business from it.
I mean, it's been such a fun ride so far. And I think, not to say that it's ever going to be easy, but the hardest part is over.
Definitely.
As far as just getting it off the ground and going, which, luckily we've not only had success in doing it because we have great content, but it was really helpful too with, my brand that I have, and then Curtis and Scotty and all of us who have been established here in Arkansas media. It was a much easier transition into this than what it would have been if we were just random people that wanted to start a deal. Like, it was the fact that we had kind of the, I think somebody put it like almost like an Avengers thing, like coming together of like us and
Dream Team.
Yeah, the Dream Team. And we've had other people and this is what's crazy, and I'll try not to say too much about it, but it's amazing the type of people that have been in the media business and are very well established in the media business and are very big time in the media business that came to us and wanted to be a part of this. And there were some things that may or may not have contract issues that have popped up that possibly kept them from doing it, but
not on our end.
Not on our end. Yep. But I'm just saying that we have something that people are recognizing in a space of who are in this business of media, and whether it's again writing, podcasting, video, whatever. But there are people that are recognizing that what we're doing here is going to be great and is going to continue to be great. So that's why, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying it because that's how proud we are of it. That we knew that coming together like this would be something great, something that the state of Arkansas needs and wants. And so that's what we pride ourselves in, and just knowing that we have pieces apart. We have all the pieces together to make this into the biggest and best media already had. That's speaking of. I've spoken a lot today. I've had a lot of live streams, a lot of interviews.
A lot of words coming out.
A lot of different words coming out. But yes, that particular thing is we've been great at that. And we've been great at just having people respond really well to it and giving people what they want. Because that's at the end of the day, honestly. I know we've said a lot tonight, but that to me is what was my goal in this whole thing, is to I don't ever want my guys writing an article that nobody reads. I don't want any of us to do a podcast consistently that nobody wants to hear. We only want to give people what they want. And that's it. Not because, traditional media's done it this way, so therefore it's got to stay this way. It's like, no.
Right.
What do you want? What do you want to hear? What do you want to see? What do you want to have? And that's what we want to give you. And that's where it goes back to the whole numbers thing. We can see what people want based on those things. And so that's what we give. And we try, sometimes we'll try stuff that fails.
Absolutely.
My whole life has been a failure. I mean, each and every day it seems like, but it's a matter of, but trying to find what works and find what clicks. And we'll put ourselves out there and, try stuff that may not work. And I'm sure you'll let us know about it. But that's what's fun about it, is that we can be very creative and very flexible. And there's never a bad idea in this office.
No.
Mostly. But yeah, there's never a bad idea as far as trying something new to see if it clicks and see if people want it. Sure.
I mean, the greatest failure is to not try, and you just never know what's going to be successful. And I think obviously we get instant feedback through data and through having a very candid and fruitful relationship with our audience. They'll let us know, and numbers don't lie, all those things. But us to be able to do that, and I can brag on you guys because I'm not you guys. But I think that's, and I feel like I've said it a million times, so for some people it might be repetitive. But while our company and our entity's new, our team's not new. Right. And you guys did bring an existing brand of credibility, of professionalism, of being credentialed members of the media. But none of us would be sitting here if we followed the status quo and if we weren't afraid to put ourselves out there. John coming into video, Curtis, Scotty, and Andrew making changes in their career, putting themselves out there and trying new things and getting on video and audio and doing podcasts and all these things. And so I think people recognize that. I think people respect it. And we never know what's going to land, but we're never going to sit here and because of fear of rejection or failure or whatever the case, not try things, because, man, we could go to our graves with some great ideas.
Good.
And we want to go to the graves used up and a life well lived of lessons personally and professionally.
Yeah. We're never going to allow anything like this company, especially as amazing as this company is, ever to suffer because we didn't either work hard enough or we didn't try enough. And so that's what we're all about. Is like, we just want to provide and want to have fun with doing it. Like,
definitely. And I think as we've worked towards this, John and I, over the last couple of years, I think that's become more and more evident in a lot of media that's been out there. Is people that they find maybe one or two things that work and they just hammer the mess out of it. And in turn, it almost gets saturated to the point where it doesn't work as effectively. But nonetheless, they never get outside the bounds of trying new things or getting creative or putting themselves out there. And they're just limited. They're boxed in. I think somebody in the comments mentioned stuffy. I think that's a result of those things just happening over and over. And it's the same questions. It's the same template. It's the same everything. And the audience is like, can we please get a new perspective, a new idea? Can we challenge some of these things? I think especially you saw that with some of the narratives and media around our football season this fall. And, we have the benefit of caring and being a fan to an extent inside. And that's the love of knowing what things can and should be, and the ability to report on that accurately and creatively and engaging with people on that. And I think people really have responded well to that.
They have. I mean, the response has been great. And we got some loyal listeners and watchers. And here's the thing. It's like, I always think it's funny because we have people that are in the comment section all the time and in the chat, but there are so many people that don't chat, you know? And like, for instance, when I'm doing a live stream show every day, if I like just seeing how many people are watching and how people are interacting, just multiply that by 10. And that's how many more people watch after I got done going live. I mean, that's what's also incredible, is to see you wake up the next morning after my show and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like so many people just went back and watched it, or, because that's what we're doing it on y'all's time. Like, we do it live, but you get to consume it whenever you want and whenever you get a chance to, because we're all busy. We all got different lives. And that's another great thing, is like, you can hit a play button and you get to listen and watch whenever you want, not just when we're going live or not just when we put it out. You can do it whenever you want.
Yeah. I mean, this stuff lives forever. Right. And I think that's true from our content, but also the ability to get out there with the people that we advertise with and those things as well. Those things build and live on as well. But, seeing the comments and stuff. I mean, Jay Boss, one of our sales guy, shout out to John Curlett. He messaged me one day and we had just started, I think, live, and I think it was your show, John, and we had like 16 people watching on Facebook. We had like literally just hit live, and I didn't see his message for a little bit, and so I texted him later and I'm like, hey, Look on Twitter. There's 12,000 people, so it's all these things of, some audiences are here, some audiences is there. You have people watching live, you have people watch after the fact, and just watch those numbers stack up. I think Pot at the Palace today, I think 2 hours, it hit 1,000 views with breaking news there. And so, it's the ability for people to consume it on their own time, I think is extremely important. And with all of our varying niches and categories of our content, stuff that's longer, stuff that's shorter, stuff that covers different sports, the six-pack, we need to talk about the six-pack, but the six-pack that covers things outside of just traditional sports media stuff, there's kind of a flavor for everybody, and they can consume it in different forms. And I know with us bringing on some interns, we're going to be really working on clips and shorts of what we're doing. So we've already done some of that, and those have performed extremely well. We have enjoyed some of those and some additives to those to put out there, but we'll have that ability for people to go, maybe you don't want to watch something for 30 minutes, but you want to find something controversial, you want to find something funny and engaging, you can go watch, a 3-minute video on that in addition to everything else that we're doing.
By the way, Matt Grissom in the chat says, I think John needs a few more things on his wall personally. How about to put your face on the wall? How about that, buddy?
Yeah. Right.
We're working this. Like, this is,
between JT and JFK and just Matt Grissom.
Yeah, we're putting it all together. It's slowly and surely coming. For all you know, this is a really high-end professional-looking studio.
Oh, yeah. We spent 6 figures just on all this. And, hey, Matt, you need to ask Matt if he was watching at the beginning when we shouted him out and shouted out Circa. And Barry's, we got to take a trip. Curtis still talks about it.
Yeah, that's great, man.
A year later, Curtis is still talking about it. So we got to go back.
Yes, we do. Anything else? I think we covered pretty much it.
Yeah. Go check out the six-pack.
Yes.
I drive a lot. I travel a lot. And so it's probably the only show that we have that I personally prefer to listen to it. Just for some reason, them covering so much, different topics and stuff. And I feel like it's something that I don't have to have the video for as much, that I enjoy with John's show and clips and, the portal board and different things at the Pot at the Palace. And I just like watching Andrew on the Bombastic. And he's had a lot of guests, a lot of student athletes, a lot of members of our baseball team. Shout out to that. But, I drive a lot. I travel a lot. I love to put that on. Normally I'm coming and going, from all parts of Arkansas and time it up. I listened to it on the way up here today. So, go give the Natty State six-pack some love, because we got a ton of sports. We got a ton of hogs, but that's just, Andrew and Curtis on there having some fun, talking about it all, pop culture, in a way that I don't know if there's really anyone doing that like we are.
Not to the extent of we are.
Right.
We're not FCC regulated either.
Exactly.
We
can talk
say
about
whatever we want right now.
Might have to pick some of our loyal listeners in the chat and bring them on.
Yeah.
And now they're going live with that. And I know John talked about it a little bit, but going live and having engagement come from a live audience, and it not just be something that our team has running in their own heads, or that they've kind of thought out a little bit to talk about, but to have questions, to give people information, and to just have entertainment around that, I think is freaking awesome.
No, it's awesome. Yeah, so you got to check it out. Check out the Natty State six-pack, because it's really great. I'm going to read some other comments that get us hyped up. Like Michael says, y'all do a damn good job. Enjoy this more than Out of Bounds, John. Well, hey, I do too. I do too. I appreciate it, though. Patrick says, we don't need ESPN to report on the Hogs. We got Natty Sports. That's right.
Dang.
Yeah. You got big-time things going on here. Katie says, you need to send all the Natty State wives and girlfriends on a trip. You know what? That's a great idea, because what I could do is then I could auction off my girlfriend that's non-existent, and I don't, since I'm single, and see which girl wants to go on this girls trip to wherever they go.
There you go. That's a way that we can monetize and raise capital.
That's the way we can get it done. So
right
it's
there.
Like, if you guys go to I don't know, where do girls go? Like wine country or something? I don't know.
Yeah, send them to Napa, send them some Charleston.
Yeah, something like, girly stuff.
Something like that. Scottsdale's fun.
Yeah.
Have to send a security
Nashville's
guard.
kind of like the bachelorette place, but it's not really a getaway.
With our committed women, I don't know if they ought to be taken off to Nashville without us, or we'll have to send Rufus or Devin with them to keep an eye on them. But that's a good idea. That could be fun. Get some content out of that.
Yeah.
Do you have another comment? Can I talk about an idea that we've talked about?
I got one more that says, y'all need to go play a round with Big John and film it. I don't know what that means.
John Daly?
I mean, I hope that means John Daly, not me.
Hey,
but yeah,
anytime. We do need to set that up. We've talked about that. We joked about that, but I don't think that would be incredibly difficult for us to do. And good Lord, I need to work on my golf game before I get out there.
We'll just get Big John and John Daly II, huh?
Yeah.
Who's a big bush hoggers tailgater.
That's what I hear.
So yeah, we could get him into the mix and see if we can get some great content out of that.
Brendan, if Brendan's listening, he needs to run the Natty State tailgate. It's time to merge. We can put Bush Hoggers / Natty State Sports tailgate, whatever you want to call it. Need to get over to our spot at the Ridge and put that on come fall because, man, we've got to get home football schedule coming.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Just got a text from Said, and he says, he's behind. He says, finally a Bush Hogger shout out.
Well, he's going to be real excited here in a minute.
Let's say he's going to, when he hears the rest of the.
Shout out my man Brennan and his lady Megan. They need to put that on, man, because you don't have to fight anybody where our spot is. You know, it's well established. Don't have to fight off any folks in Lot 44 there. And we're going to make that a big part of our brand and excited to talk a little bit more about that
and then
in the coming days.
Some partnerships there for the tailgate, too.
Hey, again, people won't come to the Natty State Bush Hoggers tailgate and leave thirsty. That is for dang sure.
Well, I was just told at our last tailgate that, quote, a Daily needs his Tito's. And also, Brendan just texted and he says, tailgate just better start at first light because that is the.
Hey, if you run it, you can do whatever you want to.
That is the Bush Hoggers tailgate motto is we start at first light, which of course means 5 a.m. every morning and keep it going. Yeah.
Well, I know we would have some of the audience adhere to those standards and be out there with you as well. And you wouldn't have to run around and set everything up by yourself, I'm sure.
No. Also, one more comment because Michael says, I'm ready for you to start taking callers on your show. Sometimes it makes for the best entertainment on talk shows. We're working on that.
Yep.
Because I have thought about it's where taking calls, I've done sports talk radio. Taking calls is one thing. I'm trying to think of how to get the video side of things integrated into it because I think it'd be really fun in some way, some capacity. I don't know if it'd be like just all of you listeners or watchers filming yourselves and then you send it in and then boom, there it is. Or if there's a way to you can get on a Zoom call. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But there's going to be some ways of involving that type of thing. Because, yes, sports talk radio callers are always interesting just as long as it's not Navy Mike or Stan in Little Rock. Or
Eddie from Clarksville, is that?
No, I'll allow Eddie. Eddie was my guy.
Eddie? Okay.
Eddie was my guy. I'll allow Eddie. Was it Gentle Ben? I think I don't even know if he still calls in or not. But there will be some callers that I will not allow to call in. But we're working on that. We're working on that.
Yeah, well, that's the good thing about doing the video elements. We can screen that a little bit because it's, got to check for that and some other things. Make sure we don't put anything, too wild out there in what we're doing. But I think we're working on that, and hopefully that'll be coming really, really soon. It goes back to what we were talking about, engaging content and that breathing into the show and evolving what we're doing there.
So is there something else that you said you were trying to talk
I got
about?
one idea. I don't know how you feel about it. I know we loosely talked about
brainstorming here on the stream. It's fine.
I don't know how the audience in the chat feels about us. Maybe in the summertime sports lull, we've been gearing up for some plans there. And one of the ideas that was floated was maybe a bachelor type show with John being the bachelor candidate.
I don't know. Awful.
I don't know what the audience thinks about that.
No,
but
that would be awful.
I think that could give people quality entertainment over the sports lull.
But I feel like that would be. Here's the thing: I would do it if it was good content, which I think it has.
We could make it good content.
It could potentially be, but it also could potentially be a disaster.
It could be
maybe a beautiful disaster, but a disaster nonetheless.
Hey, if it drives numbers and engagement, but
I'm willing to whore myself out for numbers. Apparently. Who cares about my dignity and my well-being?
Sure, we'll make it classy. I mean, mom and dad are going to be watching.
Yeah.
And we'll make it classy, but we'll record it. We won't air it live. We'll have a little bit of a buffer period to, spruce it up a little bit. But I think the audience would go bonkers over that.
I don't even know what that would look like.
It would drive some more ladies in for sure.
Like what would it be? Would it be like an actual bachelor format?
Yeah, I mean, Katie can help us because she's a big bachelor and bachelorette.
Not say
Bachelor
I feel like every woman
Paradise
can help us because they're big bachelorette.
Oh
bachelor people.
She's a fanatic. But I mean, I already think of a couple excursions. I mean, a concert at the Amp, a date at Beaver Lake, hitting some restaurants, hitting Dixon. Picnic in the office,
man.
Hitting.
Sign me up.
Yeah, hitting Oaklawn, down there, and going to the spa day. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff we could work out.
Sure, it'd be riveting.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the type of people that would show up for that.
I can't imagine the type of applicants that we would get.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
we would have to throw in some wild cards in there. It couldn't be all uniform type applicants. We'd have to get some older, some younger, some.
Well, I will say that I did something similar to that with my Justin Timberlake concert that I went to back in 2013 when he was doing the 2020 tour. I was given a great birthday gift from my family for 2 tickets to JT and Tulsa and BOK Center. And part of that was it kind of happened with the radio when I was doing radio then, but it really took off because I put out on social media, I was like, hey, I'm taking applications for this. So if you want to go to the Justin Timberlake concert, meet me at Mullins Library at this time. And the amount of women that showed up, college girls, because I was in college, the amount of girls that showed up for that was absurd, and I was blown away.
Is this recorded?
Maybe, huh?
You have some archival footage of this?
No, there was no footage of it. I do have there's social media posts of it though.
Okay.
But there was a pretty interesting thing that happened there, and
oh Lord,
I had to make up an interview on the spot of just like the questions I'd ask, saying, hey. You had to name all 3 Justin Timberlake albums at the time, solo albums. And so I was like, that was the minimum.
Yeah.
And then I think it was the other one was like you had to say, you had to be able to quote at least one song from beginning to end lyric wise.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's something else too. So yeah, I wasn't going to take some old crapperware. Like I was going to get.
And somebody checked all the boxes?
Somebody checked all the boxes.
Huh, we might have to do that again because we're running it back at the BOK Center in June for his concert.
Yeah, because we actually have a suite for that, right?
Yeah, Natty State Suite, baby. Oh, there we go.
I could be into that. I could do that again, run it back 10 years after the fact, the 10-year anniversary of it.
Golly.
Yeah.
Which
one of you lucky
circle.
ladies want to come with me to the Justin Timberlake concert at the BOK Center?
Gosh.
Line them up, and we could do interviews for content here.
Yeah.
Sit them down in our conference room.
Executive approval. That's
I think
approved.
that's what I think.
Yeah.
I would be more comfortable with that than the Bachelor.
Well, that'll dip our toe in the water, and you can get your feet wet. We can see what type of response we get from the ladies, from our audience, and that'll kind of tee up. And if it goes extremely well, that could be the first episode because that's started June, so that could be kind of our teaser because postseason baseball.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's still going on at that point, and that could be our teaser for the launch of the full series coming later, like July.
So, all right. Well,
after we've won the Natty in baseball, after we've returned home from Omaha victorious, then we
when's
launch
the concert
into
for
Bachelor.
Justin Timberlake?
June 6th.
Okay. So we got, was that 3 months? No, like
2.5.
2.5. So maybe we need to start cooking on that. We'll
Get that
start
going.
doing, because again, we'll do some interviews. We can put out a Google form. And
Hey,
just fill it out.
We love Google Forms. It'll be on the
Big Google
website
form,
tonight,
guys.
maybe.
So
Or
yeah,
maybe tomorrow.
Okay, I'm in favor of that. I agree to this.
Okay.
I can agree to this.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Hopefully that gets some
But
reaction.
as long as I get the final say in who I actually bring, though,
oh man,
I get the final okay. I'll bring somebody from the applicants, but
I know you will, but
I gotta have the final say.
that might take a little bit of the fun out of it for the rest of the team here.
Because the crew here will just be like, Jezebel would walk in here and they'd be like, oh, John wants to take her. Can't wait to see this disaster. It's like I want to go with somebody that I'm gonna have fun with.
Yeah,
Like
we might.
I'll take it into consideration, but I get the final. I get the veto. I get veto power.
Man, I need
get
Curtis,
veto
Andrew,
power.
and Scotty here to agree to this.
Because they won't. They won't agree to it. They'll be
Maybe
like, no,
we'll-
we want to have a say.
We'll form an executive board amongst the 5 of us, and we'll weight everybody a certain way. That way, it has to be some type of majority. And
Okay, well, how about this then? It's like I can say I have the veto power. However, if it's
Trump card?
if it's one that all 4 of you guys are on board with and say yes, absolutely has to have it. Then
you might have a mutiny on your hands at that
Yeah,
point.
I'd say then the majority may rule.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, we'll work on the voting system.
I want there to be some element of surprise.
Yeah, but I
and-
also want there to be somebody that
anxiety
is
to
gonna
it for you.
that I actually want to go with.
Yeah, no. We won't send you with Jezebel.
Yeah, because that was how I
you
got my
know,
last stalker. Or one
Trailer-
of my stalkers was from
Trailer
that.
Park Tammy or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Which, never know.
Yeah.
Might show you a good time.
Michelle Wilkerson says, Curtis says that they have been actively trying to get me with Sydney Sweeney.
That is true. So listen, we need to hire a good PR person here for multiple things.
Because that's going to work.
And we need to have them. Hey, shout out to when we're at your and Sydney's wedding, you only have 2 people to thank, and that is Curtis and Andrew. Because on the Natty State 6-pack, they were hyping you up. They were putting it out there for you. Because apparently her fiance is not like super, might be super rich, but he's not super athletic or celebrity.
He's not super attractive, is what he's saying.
He's just an
so
average looking guy. Oh, yeah. No. I mean, you're much sexier than he is. You know,
man.
And, got you this company now, this beautiful office view.
That's all I needed.
You're traveling the United States, doing what you love. Like, I legitimately, you don't need to sell yourself short. We're going to actively pursue that.
Can't believe they're not beating down the door right now.
I know. I mean, if we start hearing construction downstairs again, we'll think it's Sydney Sweeney here for you. And then, look, you could host SNL. I mean, it could open all sorts of doors for you. Do it for the company.
Sure.
And, Sydney's got some assets that could be certainly valuable to us.
So I hear.
That's what Andrew told me.
Andrew makes it known pretty much every day. By the way, Lucky Duck says, auction a date off with John and put the proceeds towards NIL.
Ooh, yeah, we should look that up.
Is anybody actually going? Like, how many people would donate money for that stupid thing?
You know, some of them Cougars in some of them Cougars in Little Rock be all over that.
I don't need that. I don't need to go down that road again. I've already been down that road.
We'll send Devin as your bodyguard.
Devin would be the worst bodyguard in that situation because he thinks that if I talk to one girl once, but I talk to another girl at a different time, he's just like, you're just unreal. You're just absurd.
He might jump on the landmine for you.
Yeah, right.
Might take one for you. But I don't know. Is that legal? Is that like compliant? We should ask the U of A about that.
Well, I mean, I don't know why it would. It doesn't matter where the money comes from.
Yeah, we don't have to tell them where the money comes from.
A student athete's not involved.
Right,
in it. It's just
that's true.
The money we're raising,
we would get the money, and then they don't know where it comes from.
NIL. Yeah.
We'll call Marty Bird. He'll wash it around, and then we'll drop it to him over there.
See, this is the greatest.
Like, I love that idea. See, we're getting all sorts of good ideas tonight.
Though. He's like, I'm gotta admit, I didn't see it coming, but Operation Get John Laid is shaping up to be the highlight of the summer. Thanks, Kingsley.
Hey, it's a sports lull, man. You got to have something that fills the content.
Then,
I think we've thrown out some great ideas.
That'll do it. Yeah. Good.
I think we've thrown out some great ideas. Katie, give some contributions here. We need some.
Katie
good stuff.
says bachelor material for sure.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah.
Well, we already had a double date once.
Yeah. Good time.
Yep. It was a lot. There was a lot going on, man.
That was some of the best food I've ever had.
It was really good food. It was really good food and an interesting time.
Always an interesting time. But hey, that's part of the fun and allure. I mean, you can't be too vanilla. You got to have a little mix up, a little action going on. And we'll make sure there's plenty of that for what are we up to, 3 things now? Auction John off for NIL, Justin Timberlake interviews, and then the full-on, that'll just build for the full-on release of the Natty State Sports Bachelor Edition summer. I don't see how this goes wrong in any way. I don't see how this fails. Get you a nice Natty State, Speedo. I mean, the ideas are endless here. This could propel our company forward years at a time. We'll hit our 5-year goal by the end of August.
Can't wait. Can't wait to do this. It's gonna be great.
I love it.
All right. We've been going a while. Anything else that we need to mention before we get out of here?
I don't think so. I mean, we've covered it. Just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about what we've been doing. I guess we need to thank the audience. Seriously,
for sure.
It means a lot to have people that are so engaging that, care alongside of us, that give great comments like they are tonight. I guess all the haters are asleep or distracted or watching whatever's on, Channel 4. But, yeah, thank you for listening, watching, reading, sharing, subscribing, liking. I mean, all those things make a tremendous impact to what we do. Again, us not charging for what we do, that helps get our stuff out there in a way that we can monetize it on the platforms, help others see it to grow what we're doing, helps us get advertisers on board. So seriously, thank you so much for the support, and keep it coming, and we'll keep the great content coming.
Absolutely. Thank you all for watching this and for being a part of this. And we're just getting started, man. It's going to continue to grow and everything. But but appreciate everybody watching in, and I'm sure we'll do one of these here in the next few months, couple months or whatever. But I got to say, not too bad for a buyer of access and a frat boy fanboy over here. Not too bad.
Not too shabby.
Not too bad. But we'll